next for you? What's next for you? Mikey and Ryan. What's next for you? What's next for you? Mikey and Ryan. Oh, oh.
Dude, this is on repeat in my car. This
Is
song.
it?
Dude, I have to say that introduction is fucking awesome, man.
There you go.
It really is. It's fucking awesome,
Did
dude.
it as a joke, and then we were both like, "Fuck it, let's just leave this."
Yeah.
Dude, you should leave it, dude. That shit is awesome, dude. That the pro gear and the 98% exploding the whole thing all together, and then I felt like I was watching kind of like a Green Day clip show real quick.
Right.
You know? It was pretty badass.
Dude, I used an AI app to do the song and just put
I
in
was gonna say there's no way that you're gonna have somebody do that. Like, you know, you're not just not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Have somebody, hey dude, could you just take a throw in the background, Mikey and Ryan.
yeah, like we hired some band to play it.
I know, right? Dude, bring over your guitar and bring over your speaker.
What are you doing tonight? We
I
need
know,
we
right?
need a fucking intro
I got
song.
the microphone. Don't worry about the microphone.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, AI, dude. I just typed in keywords and that's what it spit out. I'm like, oh, this is hilarious. But anyway, we're here today with Steve Fernandez, and we're gonna go over the event that he was just involved in Montana and talk about that, and obviously what's next for you. And you know, I'm fucking good-looking co-host, Mikey.
Hey.
You know, you always have to have one good-looking guy and then like a fat, funny guy. You know?
I mean, it worked. I feel like it worked for us.
Fuck it.
I would say it does. It always does.
Yeah. But all right, so let's start from the beginning. So what prompted this entire concept to do City Slickers versus the guys from Montana?
The country folks.
Yeah.
So this all started on Dan's podcast. Dan Schwartz collaborate pulled together a few months ago. We're talking to Joshua Wilson, invited him on, and his production manager. So we all, you know, pretty much were talking about it at the end of the show. We were talking about we should do some country boys versus city boys, you know, which Joshua Wilson came up with. And yeah, that was really a great idea. And then since we brought in a woman, which was Maddie, we ended up doing the country folks versus the city slickers, which Dan came up with that idea, that name, which was great. I thought it was a great concept, great, you know, way to put it on the spot. Put everything together, got pretty much all the guys a party bus, partied all the way over down to the airport. Same thing, you know, recording, live streaming, do all we needed to do. And yeah, man, it was a trip from there. Went down to the mansion to fire pit to jacuzzi to hot springs, you know, to Montana's beautiful mountains, and then to the super matches, man. It was a great production.
Nice.
I mean, it sounds really cool.
Yeah.
It
It
was
was a great time.
yeah, it's definitely awesome.
I like to like some of the angles from the cameras were good, like having the one at the pin line, and
Yep.
being able to rewind to
Yep.
see, you know, that was clutch, dude.
Yeah. The replays were really good. I'm glad they did some of the replays that we wanted to see with Sam Mitchell's match and stuff.
Yeah.
No more bobbles or any kind of bullshit like that anymore. It's going to be strict rules. You know, elbow on the pad, and if there's any hops or anything like that, it's a foul.
Yeah.
You know, we were calling small bobbles, but how small is a small bobble and in advance too as well? You know what I mean? If you're lifting up, there's a reason why you're lifting up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So didn't really like that too much. Production was really great. We're going to have a better production team, which is going to be with Robert Kelly next time, and we're probably looking to go to Florida. So things are going to be a little bit better than they looked from last time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
One thing me and Mikey were talking about earlier, like something Sean Hancock has said, is like when you're gonna allow like little elbow bobbles or fouls or whatever, letting the crowd know, because then everybody you know, like I was watching some of the comments on the podcast, and people were like, "These refs suck. They're missing elbow fouls." And it's like, if the refs know that they're not calling every elbow foul, but the crowd doesn't, that's why the crowd's bitching, going, these refs are missing all these elbow fouls when it's kind of the plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I kind of like stopped a little bit, but at the same time, there's a certain amount of, how much the elbow should be above the pad, and if it's advancing too as well, so it's just, instead of even guessing it, I don't even want to have that shit next time. Or if anything, have running fouls, so maybe have running fouls, or just do a strict, foul if it's off the pad.
Yeah. Because I felt bad, like seeing, like I saw some of the comments, like people saying the ref sucks. I'm like, man, I know Ray's a fucking great ref.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why they were even saying that, you know what I mean? Because Ray's a great ref, Brian Parliament's a good ref too, you know what I mean? But Ray, I've had from the beginning. You use Ray too, Ryan, you know what I mean? So, he's a great ref in general. He knows what he's doing. He knows all the rules. Whether we're doing IFA or WAF or any kind of set that we, proposed that night, all the guys, all the pullers knew. Everybody knew exactly what they were supposed to be. So it is what it is,
Yeah, and he's like level 3 certified, which is one of the higher levels in our area.
Yeah. A lot of the guys are first or second, you know what I mean? So having him being level 3, and he's not only is he a level 3 ref, but he's reffing probably almost every single fucking weekend. You know what I mean? So he's one of the most experienced, I would say, and the most active refs that we have around, that's in every single different tournament.
Yeah, and he has a really good temperament for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen some refs like lose their shit and start arguing with a fucking contestant, but Ray's not.
No,
he's just he controls the table well.
Yeah, he does. And he doesn't get hot about anything. He makes sure that the guys know that it's going to be his way. And that's it. Which I respect that a lot. So and he's a very fair ref. All the way around. So it doesn't matter whether it's here, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. He's always the same, always doing what he needs to, and whether on your team or not, he is fair. He's doing what he's supposed to.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. That's why I felt bad seeing people bash the two refs. And I'm like, dude,
yeah.
But again, I guess, like the production team probably should have said something to the people watching, like, hey, we're going to ignore elbow fouls or something. Or
yeah, I can actually see that. You're right. I mean, that could have been, opened up and proposed, a little bit more to, I'd say the audience, so they would know exactly what was going on. Because you're right, because I did get a lot of questions like, what are they talking about? What's going on? And I was even shouting out elbow, and the guy in the audience goes, yeah, we know what you're gonna say next. Elbow. I was like, well, if you knew what you were talking about, if you knew the rules, you knew why I'd be saying that. I mean, pretty much just shut him down. And then his wife came in and she was just like, that's one of the guys that's running it. So he came up to me, he goes, I didn't know that you were part of. I was just like, it doesn't matter. I said, I'm just letting you know, that's very important, for a guy's elbow to be on the pad or be the way it's supposed to. If he's advancing forward and he's past the center, he's got the advantage of being able to, getting closer faster. So it's just the small things like that the audience don't know, and they have to know to make sure, what's going on.
We got a couple people just saying, what's up? Let me see. Was there a ref meeting with competitors and refs before?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, and refs before, like I was saying before, with the refs, with all of us, with the competitors, everybody knew exactly what was going on. They talked about it. I was there to make sure it was a fair meeting. So yeah.
Congratulations on the event, Steve. It was good to see guys like Garrett Tupper and Sam Mitchell get the limelight. Madison Walker killed it too.
Thanks, Ivan. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I definitely think that they did. Garrett Tupper did an absolutely phenomenal job. I'm saying it wasn't even a competition, I'd say, and much respect to Zach. But I think he knows why I'm saying that. It was a 3-0. Even the blast that Garrett had, hold him, looked at him, looked around, and flashed him. You know what I mean? So it was outclassed a little bit. It was on a different level, and I think Zach knew that. But he still took the match. He's an absolutely phenomenal competitor. He was so fast, not as fast as he needed to be that night. And we talked about it too. He's a great guy. And I could see that because I watched his last matches too. He just didn't have the quickness too that he usually has. So, but Madison did an absolutely phenomenal job. And Sam Mitchell, I even told Hunter Bratton like that I really want to see that, run that back again with Sam Mitchell and do a 7 instead of out of 5 to see exactly what happens with no elbow fouls or anything like that.
I mean, Sam is a beast.
He's a monster. At 165, he's a monster. It was really odd for me for Hunter to beat him, but he's really good too. And he's really strong, and he's in absolute top shape, just like Sam was when I saw him. But all in all, I'd like to see Sam at a 7 with Hunter again, either running fouls or no elbow hops or anything, a strict, elbow to the table. Oh, that's what I'm gonna say.
Kevin said we don't know what an elbow foul is in Florida. That could be a future problem. Kim said FTG, Steve, start to finish was a great show.
Thank you so much, Cam. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it was a really good show, really good production. I love the fact that we were going back and forth, 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, up them, 3-3, 4-3, 5-3 to them. Then we won our last 2 was 5-5. So having that and the girls break it down at the last second, I knew that was going to be one hell of a match. And I said, let's leave the girls for the last. They're both world champions, and to break them open with Garrett Tupper and Zach was great too. So. But having Madison Walker, I even got emotional, at that last bit, Madison, me and her hugging and her doing what she needed to do. And it's just, she's in the spotlight now, and people are looking at her as a target, I would say, because she's completely underestimated. She's one hell of a puller. She's so strong.
She's good, she's strong.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she could beat me. So
yeah, she's good.
I like her a lot more than her dad.
I love both. I love all of them, man. Steve and Tracy and all the kids. Devin and Maddie. Maddie knows she's phenomenal. I had some good talks with them at your event, actually. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. One thing that surprised me, and I got to give him props, is Dan Schwartz, because everyone was saying this dude's a killer. He's gonna kill Dan.
Yeah.
Dan made it look easy.
That was way too easy for Dan. It was a 3-0. And he even told me, Dan said, he goes, if I beat him 3-0, I'm going to ask him if he wants to go in the hook because that's where he's comfortable. And I was like, you know what? He's like, I'm still going to beat him. And he said he'll go in the hook. And he did. And Dan still beat him.
That's what I'm saying. And everyone was talking up the other dude.
Yeah.
Big time. And apparently over there, he is a killer.
Yeah. Supposedly they're at that weight class. He's the number 1 guy to beat. So and look, nothing with Roy. Roy's a great person, a great guy. He was a phenomenal commentator, and also a great puller too. It's just that I knew that Dan was going to be able to take his hand because of all the matches that I seen with him. He likes to press. I seen his flop press. Yeah, and he said that his hand was tweaked a little. Let me tell you something,
dude. Dan's hand and wrist are ridiculous.
So you can't be tweaked a little bit on your wrist and have this guy that's a phenomenal fucking top roller. You think that he's not gonna take your hand?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, but either way, a lot of respect for Roy. He did a great job, but Dan was the bigger person that day.
Yeah, it obviously looks like Dan has done some work on his hook, because that used to be his weak spot.
Yeah. From what he told me before, he's never really hooked like that because he thought that he didn't really have it there. But comparison that what he looked like that night after he beat him 3-0 top rolling him, and then he said, you know what, let's go in a hook. That's just telling you that much, man. That's just saying I'll beat you at my game and I'll beat you at yours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's just, I give him a lot of respect, man, for doing that. He didn't even have to do it. He really didn't. And for him to do that is, I give him a lot of respect, man. He's strong as fuck, man. Do not underestimate Dan. He's as strong.
Would you dare to say that he's a nightmare?
Yeah. You know what? Dan's a nightmare in both ways. He drives me crazy. So he's a fucking nightmare to me, I always a nightmare on the table. But no, all in all, I got a lot of love for Dan. Me and him work great together. He did a lot for this whole trip. But I'd have to say, just like he's my nightmare, I'm fucking his sometimes too. He doesn't want to hear me fucking.
I used to tease him and say, dude, you can't have the nickname Nightmare if you have a tattoo of a dream catcher on your arm.
A little contradictory. That's fair.
That's too funny.
Dan's all right. I give him crap, but we had our things back in the past, but I mean, he's leveled up so much in arm wrestling and stuff, and I mean, he's still our local guy, so I always support our local guys. And seeing him smash that dude, I was like, all right, City Slickers.
Yeah, man, definitely, dude. Yeah,
I saw you get some backlash too in some of the comments of people saying, "Well, so and so doesn't live in the city," and I was like,
Nice.
it's why that's called tri-state arm wrestling. You know what I mean? It's not just in the city. It's whoever we can get in the tri-state. And look, vice versa. It's not like they were planted on Montana. They got people from Utah,
Canada,
Washington, and Canada. The
Yeah,
majority of the people were from Canada. So it's not like we did specifics. We just said, look, we're gonna get some guy. I'm New York Tri-State Arm Wrestling, so that says it right in the name. We're in the Tri-State. We're getting the best guys possible. And then in general with what they're trying to do, they said the same thing. Hey, can we reach out? Is it all right if we reach out? And of course they can. I mean, how that wouldn't be fair for us to reach out and them not to be. You know what I mean? So getting Utah, Washington, and Canada just says that much about how good we did to beat Canada, Washington, and Utah. You know what I mean? And Montana at the same time.
Yeah. M Spot. Now, would you work with those guys again? Because I saw there was like a little bit of miscommunication or something. Can you speak on that?
I wouldn't say I would work with them again. I don't think the way things went, weren't as professional as I wanted them to be, and so I wouldn't work with them again. But if we'd ever go to Montana again, I definitely work with Joshua Wilson, which that's who we started with from the beginning. So and he's doing his own thing. He's got Montana Armbending Championships, and he's using Robert Kelly for his production system, and that's exactly who we're using now too as well. And we're actually going to put something together next year to bring Montana over here to the City Slickers. So we're going to do the same thing again, but they're coming over here, and we're going to put something together too as well. And we're going to get the best out of Montana, because I feel like the best out of Montana, from what Josh was saying, wasn't 100% there. And I can completely understand that by having a lot of guys from Washington and Canada, you know what I mean, and just a couple of guys from Montana there. So, but at the same time, they did a great job, and I can't wait, for Josh to come up and us to work together. He's a great guy.
So Steve, let's say M Spot came to you and said, "Hey man, we really want to work with you again. Heard there were some issues. What can we do differently so we can work together again?" Would you have any advice for them? Is it completely trashed? Is it something they could do better, you think, for next time? How can we improve?
I would say just, make sure everything that's said, gets done the way it's supposed to. And, keeping your word for me is a big deal. If you say something that you're going to, say it, just make sure you back it up. And if I tell you I'm going to be there, it's because I'm going to be there. If I say I'm going to do something, it's because I'm going to do something. I'm not going to say one thing and then do another. That's the only thing I would say. The production was top notch, was very, very good. But in general, that's what I would do mainly. You know what I mean? A little bit more professionalism, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
I mean, I don't think you're wrong for wanting that, for a man to stand by his word.
Yeah. That's what's really important, that I think, if just like if you and me do something together, which we're looking to do maybe something together, in the future, you go to Florida, something like that. And you told me, "Hey, Steve, we're going to pick you up from the airport or something like that. We're going to have, traveling expenses. So, me picking you up from the airport, we're going to take care of that, or whatever it is. Or, hey, Steve, we're going to help you out with a couple of beds here. You know what I mean? I know you need a couple of beds, 2 or 3 beds, just make sure that, whatever we have there, it's there on that day, and we'll have it for you, not turn back around a month later and be like, "Hey, we can't be doing that for you. We can't do that for you."
Yeah. It's unfortunate. A lot of times in business over the years, I'm similar to you. I go on a handshake. I go on people's word. But I've noticed that a lot of times it has to be in writing, and it really does protect both people. And it sucks to be that way because, me, like you said, me and you, if we're working together and you say, "I'm going to provide these things," I'm just going to take your word for it. But I hate to say that going forward, maybe you should be a little more, diplomatic and say, "Hey, let's put this in writing. Let's make sure that these are known things that are going to happen." That's why if it does deviate, you have something to stand on.
No, I completely agree with you. That's honestly what we're thinking about next time that we're probably going to do is we're probably going to have a contract list of even our pullers that are not going to be able to pull 30 to 60 days prior, any tournaments or super matches or anything like that,
Yeah.
where they go on this trip, because
Yeah.
even what happened, with Joe Galgucci, he got hurt at a tournament right before, and that kind of cost him his trip right there, just by not being able to do that.
Yeah.
Vice versa.
He would have been a good one to bring too.
Yeah, definitely was a good person to bring. Let's see, 1 second. Hey, what's going on?
Mikey, should I write up a contract to hold you accountable to being on the podcast on time?
What'd you need, hon?
I personally, I don't think it's necessary for myself, but
It's usually me that's late.
No,
it
but
sucks, though. I mean, I totally know where you're coming from with that. Like I said, I'm old school too, man. I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. It just sucks that it has to be that way. But yeah, to protect both parties, getting in writing.
Last time.
Yep. I learned a long time ago to use emails. That way, if someone says, "Hey, I never said that," you're like, "Boop."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. You know what I mean? The last thing you want to do is just, expect something out of somebody and then nothing happens the way it's supposed to. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But, you want to always just be able to, keep your word and everything's all good and move on and making sure that everything goes the way it's supposed to. You know what I mean? Not at last minute, have something have to spend up another $600-700 or
yeah.
Just out of curiosity, from M Spot's perspective, are they admitting that they changed these things that they promised you, or are they denying that they were promised to begin with?
No. So it wasn't even. So I spoke to somebody specific over there from them, and they said that they were trying to. We spoke to somebody specific, which was somebody from over there, and they said that they were gonna, and
Right.
a month out, it was me, Dan, and him on the phone, and pretty much, denied that no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to be able to do that. And we're like, well, this is what got said last time.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here? And then we're going back and forth. I'm not doing it. And then I was like, all right, well, I guess we're going to have to take care of it ourselves. You know what I mean? But
So what do you think happened? You think it was a budget issue? They ran out of money, or they didn't, they expected to make more than they did?
I really don't know what it was or what it is. And at the same time, to tell you the truth, I don't care, because just don't say that. Just don't say it from the beginning. If there was really that much of a problem, just don't say anything at all. I mean, would be better off. I would wonder it myself. I'll wonder it myself, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Have they come out publicly at all yet to respond to what the things you've been saying on the podcast or anything?
No, I don't really know too much. The only thing that I do know is I looked up on YouTube or whatever to try to look at the matches, and everything was deleted. So as far
from the event was deleted,
from YouTube and everything else like that. So that's not doing just a disservice to the pullers, but in general for everybody that's there. So I don't even.
Do you feel that was retaliatory?
Retaliation from what's being said on the podcast?
Yeah, or however you guys left things, or
I think it could be from maybe both, from maybe the podcast or from the way everything was left at the end, so it could be a little bit of both, because the actual whole thing was already canceled once from him, and then we put it back together again to try to calm everything else down, which we did. So we brought everybody over there, got the show on, and did what we needed to do.
Do you have anything to do with hacking Nanya?
No. I actually spoke to Nanya today, so no. Yeah. He knows I didn't.
Did he tell you about it?
No, he said he was just going through some rough times right now, whatever. So I was just like, no problem, man. I said, just don't let anybody, fuck with your head. And,
he hit a deer recently too and fucked his car up.
He hit 2 fucking deer, dude, in like a fucking month.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, from what he told me, it's like I think in a month he hit 2 deer, one with one car and I think one with the other, or some shit like that.
The scary part is to know what he did with the deer after.
Yeah.
No, he called me last night. We were talking about him being hacked, dude. He got hacked pretty bad, like weird stuff, like his phone. Someone sent him a fake program, and it like took over his whole phone and all his personal info and bank cards, everything.
Yeah, no, I didn't even. That's what he said completely. Like somebody took all his information.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure he narrowed it down to. He's pretty sure it's Andrew Wood. Another one of the AWU former trolls or whatever.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, that was unrelated. I was trying to break the ice.
Yeah, you're good.
You got anything else, Mikey?
Yeah, I mean, we the name of the show. we can hit that question.
Yeah. What is next for you, Steve?
Oh, so next is going to be, we're trying to do something in Florida.
Yep.
And hopefully it works out in Florida. We're trying to get somebody for the whole team, trying to like switch some of the guys on the team too, so whoever lost, gets traded out. And then we have to do another qualifier for whoever gets traded out. And off to Florida, either Miami or Orlando. Where are you at, Mikey?
I'm pretty close to Orlando. I'm about an hour and 40 minutes away from Orlando, about 4.5 from Miami. I mean, I can make the trip to either one. I think you would probably have better success keeping it Central Florida, like Orlando area. Miami's got some hitters too, don't get me wrong, but I think the bulk of it, the meat of it is going to be Central Florida.
Yeah.
Sal said, "Come to Louisiana."
Louisiana. We're gonna be. I think afterwards we're gonna hit Texas up.
So you're going to continue with the same name with the City Slickers versus the, or are you going to try and switch it up for depending on what area you go to? Are we like the Beach Boys or something?
Yeah,
what do we have in Florida?
Exactly, 100%. Gator Boys or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever they pick for their team name, that's what we're gonna do, and then
Cool.
keep rocking it with the City Slickers or New York Tri-State Arm Wrestling. So one or the other, but probably the City Slickers.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fun.
Trailer boys.
Yeah,
What do you call people from Florida?
I don't know. What do you call people from Florida? Right?
Would you use those same refs again, Eric?
I'd use Ray again. Brian's from Canada, so would it be using Brian? If I would bring somebody else in, would probably be Chuck Bardo or Mike Bisman, or even Ron Aconda.
Okay. There's your answer. So are you going to look to like do this in different areas of the country, like moving forward, like kind of all over?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Florida, then next Texas after that, and California after that.
There you
So it's
go.
going to be from state to state. Get the best pullers possible, and go to the best states possible that have the best pullers. And do kind of like the tri-state from around them too. What I mean? So if they're Cali, get whoever's Cali's around there. If they can get, which Cali's got ridiculous pullers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And same thing with Florida. It doesn't have to be specific Florida, but it could be close to Florida, Georgia, Carolinas, whatever they can get that's close to, by them, And yeah, man, just play it by that, state to state until we take over, so like we just beat Montana, 6-5, and just keep the ball rolling.
Yeah. That's cool, man. I like that you want to spread it around like that. Like it's cool that like Montana was the first one, and seeing different parts of the country, highlighting different guys, and just seeing how different parts of the country stack up against each other.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, that's really what you want to see. You want to see the best guys from to the best guys to the best guys. You don't really want to see like, and not taking away from anybody, but you really want to see the best of the best from every state going up against each other. So at the end of the day, who won, who was there, at what weight class. And especially we're doing from 154. 165, 176, 187. So we're really doing every single weight class to make sure. And that's why it's like, even with the 3-pound clothing allowance, none of the guys were even at that 3-pound clothing allowance. Everybody was literally at their weight. It was really 154, and that's what, Garrett was. The 165, Sam was 165, because we don't want these guys to take, that weight loss cut and be able to, that 10, 15, or even the 5-pound weight cut. We We want you to be at your weight that you're comfortable at and pull the best that you can pull at your weight class.
Yeah.
See, let me ask you, like an event like this, how do you fund it? How do you make this worth it to, you got to, I'm assuming you pay for some travel expenses. Flying these referees out isn't cheap. Some sort of awards, whether it's a cash prize. I think I heard, what was it, $500 per match on the last one. How do we, if we work together, how do we get money for this?
So some obviously, it comes out of my pocket. The other, we get a lot of sponsors for it too. Venues is a big deal too. Production, obviously, Robert Kelly, and he's good. And yeah, it's really just getting a lot of sponsors too to be able to back you up and stuff, So that's where we got the money from. The prize money winning. M-Spot came up with the money for the majority of the matches. I paid for Maddie's match and stuff because they were going to take it off the card. So we put it back on the card. I got Jolene Anderson and I got Maddie to go up against each other, 2 world champions, and I put up the money for that match.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is there any revenue made from an event like this? I mean, do you charge a pay-per-view or
no
any return on this? Or?
Not yet. This next one we're trying to do will be. It will be, for pay-per-view. I want everybody to see what type of production that they'd be watching,
sure,
and what they would be getting into before they start paying for it. And I would want to do the same thing. I don't want to spend money on something that's going to be, if I don't even know what it looks like, So obviously now people have an idea what it's going to look like, how professional it's going to look, and how great it's going to look, and it's going to even look better now. So that's pretty much what we're looking to do, and doing a pay-per-view, and people can start, seeing and knowing these guys, do the background, and doing the show too. So people can see, how they act, if you really like them personally, when they're in the house, and same thing, how long they've been pulling, what team they pull for. And and we did the live interviews too, so everybody can see individually each puller, so they can be more, into the puller, or don't really like him because he doesn't like his attitude, or doesn't, so it's just that type of thing.
Yeah.
A little more personal.
Let me just catch up on some of these comments. So Sal, the one that said come to Louisiana, said we have an 8-man team ready to go.
You would probably need 11 altogether, I would say, because you'd be for 154 to 243 plus, and you would need a girl.
Are you trying to do that, like at least one girl match in every?
Yeah. Got to have one girl match in every single one of these things. It's just not fair to just have all the guys there. You got to have the girl there. And our showcase girl is Madison Walker, coming from, New Jersey. And she's an absolute beast. She hate to say it, but she killed Jolene. It wasn't even a match for her. And I can't wait to see what she does next.
Kevin said, I need a match. Eric said, Chuck Bardo called Ray a bad ref on your live last night. Why? Sue Fisher said Ray Romanowski is a fantastic ref. Great show, Steve.
I agree 100%. Ray is one of the best refs we had. It is what it is.
I think it was the elbow hop problem. Like if you're watching and you don't know that the refs are trying to ignore the elbow fouls, then you're going to say that guy's a bad ref.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, and you can't really see everything that's there. Believe me, I was watching the setup. I was watching if they were center of the table. You could probably hear me screaming through the whole thing, and I want to make sure that everything was done correctly. No elbows off the table. It's just, I went through everything. It's just, you can only do so much. And Ray was there watching everything too. And so was Brian Parliament. And I thought they did a good job all in all. Like I said, you can't really bitch about, what happened. It's already done. The good thing is that, we won. I think Ray did a really good job. So did Brian. And, for next time, they'll do even a better job. These guys are just going to get better, from what they do. They're not going to get any worse, Now,
like other Paul Lynn said, he'd be down for a 165 or 176 match down the road. Now, say he wanted a match. What does he have to do to get one? Does he have to beat someone?
So I would set him up with a super match with Sam Mitchell, let's just say, right?
Yeah.
165, because Dan's our 176 guy and he won. So there's nobody that can put him up with a super match because he's on the next part because he won,
Thanks for the nice words, guys. Looking forward to Florida. I've got to get my redemption on John Zilla. Dan, don't get used to me saying nice things about you. This was a one and only. No, I'm kidding.
This was a one and off. All right. That's it. That's all I got.
It took everything out of me.
Yeah, but yeah. So if the guys win, like Maddie wins, she's not off the team
Yeah.
or anything like that. They move on to the next state, and they keep on going until this, until the wheels fall off. Plain and simple. If they lose, they have a super match that they have to go. Well, number one, they're either off. I get somebody new. If they don't want to challenge the guy that I get because whatever the reason is, and they don't want to pay themselves back in, then that's up to them. I get my guy, and it is what it is.
So new people can get in by challenging whoever you have lined up to go.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's almost like a qualifier for them to see if they can beat them. And if they can, they take their spot and they're off to Florida.
Nice.
You do mixture of right and left hand or just right hand?
No, mixed left and right hand.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All genders?
All genders. Like as in both?
All 67 genders or?
Yeah, only 2.
Yeah.
Which 2?
Male and female.
Yeah.
That's it.
Which 2 out of the 67?
Yeah. Because there are some females that are starting to look like males. And yeah. So
that's a controversial topic.
Yeah, that's a very controversial topic, but some of the females are really pushing their fucking like Jesus, what the fuck, man? You know what I mean? They don't even look like women anymore, dude.
I used to be a female, so
why? Look what happened.
Right? Yeah, fucking face hair growing. Even Shubich, look, he says he was born a female. I believe that.
I believe that 100%. He's got huge tits.
Yeah, fucking guy. Look at him.
Huge tits.
He's way too pretty to be male.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I can believe that.
He's got both male and female genitalia. Why he doesn't leave his house to go compete in it. But yeah, so Mikey, now that he mentioned Florida, are you already going like, all right, this guy?
It's funny. I don't know if you saw it on my face. I'm literally running through different names in my head now.
Yeah.
Who would? I mean, I think
Dan.
Dan
Give you an idea and shoot a couple names at you for our class. Another way I'm probably going to be running it is our heavyweights going to be Steve Walker at 243 plus.
Okay.
Paul Cruz is probably going to be at 240.
Okay.
Ben Ciapoli is probably going to be at 230. Roger Learn is dropping down to 220. So these guys are then I have Vladimir that won his match, won 2 right-hand matches. At Montana, he's a killer.
Yeah.
He's going to be at 209. Jason Ciardi has to see if he can win his super match after whoever wins between Wade and Flip.
Oh, Flip's a beast, dude.
Flip is a beast, bro. Flip is a beast, and so is Wade. And I know Wade and Jason go back and forth all the time. So I want to see a nice super matchup against them, or him and Flip might be even a better match. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whoever wins out of those.
That's a tough one to call.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I got to get another 187 guy is the only guy that I have to look for. Aiden lost his match. I have to find somebody else for him to – he doesn't want to get off the team, so he's looking for somebody better than him that can pull. You know what I mean? So depends. I think he said Weber, I think he said. So I'm seeing what happens. Yeah, I think a Roger at 220 is going to be a murderer, dude. I think that's what we were talking about too. Is he's really good. He's a phenomenal puller, man. It's just more on, and he pulls different. He top rolls with his left and hooks with his right, so inside pressure. So he's a different type of puller, on both arms. But in general, he pulls really good with both arms. Even after he broke his arm and all that other bullshit, he's still, I think, one of the best. And I think even at 220. It's not even going to be a match with anybody, at that weight class. He's just way too strong, dude. And I think at 220 he's going to do really good.
What are your best 3 supers?
Best 3 supers that can pull super, or just from the top of my head who I would put in supers. I would always use Steve Walker. I used Ben Ciapoli for my supers this time too, and Paul Cruz I wanted to use for my supers too last time, but he couldn't come. Steve was supposed to come, and then he dropped out, had personal things going on, and and Ben ended up actually coming and ended up actually winning his match with Len Houghton. So
about like maybe Nick Stone?
Well, left hand, I would definitely 100% Nick Stone. That's what we were talking about last night with Montana Arbending championships with Joshua Wilson. And he goes, I got a hell of a left-hand super. And I'm sitting there going, hey, ain't nobody like Nick Stone, I can tell you that much. And he goes, who? And I'm like, you need to get to know this guy before. He goes, I got the torque wrench or something like that. And I was like, you could bring your torque wrench down. I was just like, he's gonna flatten your guy, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So
the Cruz isn't super anymore now. He's down in
240.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But he could still pull supers.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he could still pull supers though. You know what I mean? The guy is strong as fuck. Him and Steve are you know what I mean? Probably one of the top.
I was just going to say
between New York, he's the best, and he's in New Jersey. You know,
this is another guy. Like if Walker couldn't make it, Anthony is a beast.
Yeah,
him and Steve had a war.
I asked Anthony to come with us when Steve dropped out. Yeah, and Anthony wasn't able to come with us either. And I actually had another super match hooked up with him on the 27th, but he couldn't make that either. So I've been trying to get Anthony in a couple of different spots, but he's just been.
Fuck that guy.
No, he's a good kid, man.
Did you see his fucking family, dude? He's not even the biggest one.
No.
They're all big boys, dude, except the one little runty one. But the rest of them were big.
I was gonna say being a boy, a guy, a man his size, I couldn't imagine who his dad was. You know what I mean?
And he's young. Like he's gonna be a fucking problem in the future.
He is, dude. He was. I don't want to say he was a problem for Steve, but him and Steve at the Arnold, they went for a little bit, and Steve doesn't usually go back and forth with nobody. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, it was a lot closer than I thought it would be.
Absolutely.
And he's gunning for Cruz too. He wants a super match.
He's been telling me. Even when we were at Knuckles Up watching the show, he goes, "Get me Steve, get me Paul." I was like, "Paul Cruz?" He goes, "Yeah," and I'm sitting there going, "What?" But he would be actually a good match for Paul. I can't say he's not, man.
Do you think in the future at some of these matches it would be beneficial to just start everybody in an elbow foul?
Get rid of the table altogether.
Just fucking.
Just go in the air, straight up air, grab each other's shoulder, and just start. Just straight in the air, just like when you're like practice pulling. Just put your foot down in front of him. That's it.
Shubich, maybe Shubich in the future, but I mean, he's kind of strange.
Yeah, I've been offering opportunities. I've been trying to offer Dave a couple different ones at 220, but he said he was busy and stuff. So I'd love to put Shubich in. He's one hell of a puller, man, especially at 220. You know what I mean? And I asked him.
Yeah.
But look, man, I get it. Whenever anybody gets to get their time and their shot, I completely understand. They got other things going on, which is cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? But dude, I don't even know how many people already reached out since we were already in the mansion, and they were like, "Oh man, I can't believe I missed it. Definitely next one." And everybody's reaching out. I definitely want to be on it. Just put me on the list. When can I? So it's just
I like that you are setting up an opportunity for people to get into it by challenging whoever's on that list so that they can get a spot.
All right, just give me 1 second. My bad.
Yeah, no problem. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Dude, I want to pull.
Oh, you're not good enough, dude.
I know.
You don't train hard enough. Bro, I gotta say, dude, you look like you've been training like crazy.
Nah.
I've seen your videos.
No.
I see your videos, dude. You're doing a lot.
They're AI generated.
You're putting in a lot of work, dude. Despite what other people think, I think you're gonna be an issue down there, man.
Thank you.
You're looking strong.
Thank you.
I'm not just saying that because you're, my co-host. How do you do it? Have you pulled many Florida tournaments to see like where you're at, or not? Since you've been like,
we're not interviewing me. Nah. I'm all right. So if I'm going to be like completely unbiased,
yeah,
I'm all right. I mean, it's my first year in the sport.
Yeah.
I definitely, I'm farther along than I would expect to be in the first year, but nowhere near where I want to be.
Kevin said we should have a pull-off for the spots for Florida.
Ooh, I like that.
Pull-offs kind of sounds a little bit gay.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gay shit that happens in arm wrestling.
Especially in Florida.
We got our finals December 7th. We could do the winners of finals. Could all get a match on the card.
Dude, whenever I look at the news stories of like things that happen in Florida for like weird crimes, I'm like, I feel like I should be down there.
They're really like Florida is really. We do. We do got some crazy
shit
shit.
goes on, dude. I'm like, this would be good content down there.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do, Mike? Are we going to do something? You got your
Yeah, I think it sounds fun. I think it sounds really cool. You know, my only concern would be the funding. You know, to try to get these guys, you know, a decent reward for pulling and stuff.
I got something covered for that, bro. You don't even have to worry
Yeah.
about it. Especially in the super matches, I usually do the rings. You know
The
what I mean?
rings are dope, man. I've seen the rings. That's
The
dope.
rings aren't really that much of an expense at all. Once I show you the prices, you'll be like, "Are you fucking joking me?" You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's cool.
They're really good. I get a decent amount, you know, for them. Not that they're cheap. You know, they're not cheap at anything, but in general, to get that at the end of a super match is phenomenal. And I was already thinking that we should do a belt. You know what I mean? An actual belt. You know what I mean? For the whole
That's cool
team.
too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just doing a belt for the whole team, and that's it. But yeah, man, we should definitely do something like that. I was thinking, like I said, 154 to 243 plus to the heavies, and then do a women's match. You know, I don't need Sarah there. All right, that's the only. You know, I know Maddie's good, but she's got a couple turns before she goes to Sarah. You know, so
Yeah.
got a lot of respect for Sarah. You know what I mean? So and she's in a different league. You know, and Maddie's got to build herself to get up there. Not that Maddie's not good or anything. She's great. She's fantastic, but you know, there's levels. There's levels to this, you know.
For sure. What does Maddie pull at?
She's at about 220 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's heavy, you know. She's got 21-inch biceps. But
Wow.
but let me tell you something. So you would think both of her arms, because she's a bigger girl, she's got bigger arms. 15-inch on one side, 21 inches on the other.
Oh wow.
So that just tells you right there that she's got 6 extra fucking inches of muscle. All right.
Yeah.
She's not just because, and you can see it straight on one side, you know, she flexes, and you can see it clearly, you know, she's a lot bigger on her right arm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, she's a fucking all-star fucking softball player, for Christ's sake.
Right. And she says she got a lot of her muscle too from there too.
Yeah.
So that's why
I would imagine.
Yeah. So I can see that, you know, I could definitely see that.
I mean, she was like fucking home run after home run, dude. Like beat the record of home runs last year. I'm like, damn, dude, that's fucking impressive.
Yep.
But yeah, cool, man. So yeah, I mean that, you know, I'm glad we got to talk about that, because I wanted to know, you know, how it went and what the future plan is, and it's cool to see that you're going to try doing it in different areas. So it sounds like you have is your mind set on Florida, or if another opportunity come up, would you?
No, honestly, my mind was set on Florida. I kind of already was thinking from the state. You know what I mean? It would be from Florida, Texas, and California. That's kind of the way the bounce I want to make it look like. You know what I mean? You know, from like countryside to beach side, back to countryside, back to beach side. You know, so and I think next should be Florida. You know, especially, you know, having Mikey down there, and you know, also you know, Ryan, you know, teaming up together and stuff would just. I think would just, and me and Mikey met already. So it was kind of, I was already thinking it while I was over there, and what should happen. And you don't even know Mikey, but I was actually telling Ryan before we were on the phone, I was like, I'm probably going to ask Mikey to come with me, see if we can do something in Florida. He goes, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to ask him. I said, so that my Florida guy was Mikey from the beginning. He goes, all right. He goes, yeah, man. He goes, so
I didn't want to ruin the surprise.
But yeah, no, definitely that was, everything was already rolling, you know, and I know you guys have a great, you know, team over there, a great group of people that train over there.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think it would just be the next, you know, and if we can bring, you know, like Steve Walker, Paul Cruz, all these people over there, they are top-notch pullers, man. You know this, Ryan. They're phenomenal pullers, you know.
Yeah.
I just got a text from Chance Shaw. He said, I want to do it with you instead of Mikey. No. Sorry, I always have to start some kind of trouble.
I know.
Mikey's gonna text me later, like, you fucker. No, but that's awesome, dude. I would love. It was fun to watch, and I look forward to seeing, you know, the next one. So it's an interesting concept, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I think so, man. To get the best guys that you can get, from there. And really what it is too, what I'm trying to do is that I do want guys, to come here from Montana or Mikey to come and do things over here in New York. So we can really see what the difference would be, us going to Florida and getting the best out of Florida, not just for it being like, oh, we couldn't get our guys. We went to Florida for you guys. You know what I mean? So it's not like well, that's really what the big thing is, and then vice versa. If some guys couldn't come to Florida this time, then you come to New York and we bring it to New York and see what happens there, So that's what's kind of like the two-faced type of thing. Because, all right, you beat us in Florida, if that happens, or we win in Florida, but would you win if we would have came over there? Maybe, because
Like, see if there's a home court advantage or.
Yeah, really, because sometimes guys can't travel. Like, I don't want to say that, the best came out to Montana, the best that I could have brought because we couldn't get a lot of the other guys what came to Montana, you know what I mean? And the best also too came to Montana between 154 and a couple of the other guys, you know what I mean? So, but I had my doubts on Ben up going up against Len Houghton. I didn't know if he was going to be able to beat him. And the reason being is because Steve Walker went up against Len Houghton and he had a pin on Steve. And then Steve had to come back and beat him twice. So, but styles make matches though too. And I don't really see Steve Walker ever lose to anybody. But if there was a match between Ben and Steve, before I would have said Steve won. Now, shit, man, I really don't know what would happen because but like I said, styles make matches. So we'll see if it even happens.
Yeah. That's one thing about Steve. Like, he doesn't change up much because he's so strong in his lane that he doesn't have to.
Right.
He just does his fucking move.
He does his move, and that's it. You're done. And it's so fast and it's so powerful. It's hard.
When I see guys try to match him at his own game, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're not going to be stronger in that move than Steve.
Not at all.
No,
not at all.
Like, you have to try something different or go. Like, you're not going to fucking match that and have an advantage. No.
You're really not. Steve's on a different level, man. He is on that higher class, of guys that, at that 240 plus, he's a huge guy. He's got to be 300 plus, he's a big guy, big hand, thick hand too, so, and he's strong as hell, man. He beat the Tank up on Knuckles Up too. He's beaten Nick Stone before too, so I know Nick's a left-handed puller, but Nick ain't no slouch with his right either. You know what I mean? Slow, he's good too, so.
Yeah, Nick's a beast.
Yeah, left or right hand.
Yeah, like Nick, Anthony, these young guys.
Yeah, Anthony too.
I'm just thinking, like, dude, they have so much time ahead of them.
Oh my God, Anthony's gonna be
them 5 years down the road, and they're gonna fucking be killing.
I can see Anthony 2 years down the road, honestly, and being a killer. You know what I mean? Because
he's already there.
That's what I'm saying. If he's going back and forth with Steve, what the fuck is going to happen in 2 years?
Yeah, he's only getting better and bigger.
And stronger. So
these guys are like 21 years old. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I wish I'd gotten into it like at that age.
So young, dude, and so strong, and
old,
so fast to recover.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. But yeah, man.
Cool. I got an idea I want to throw out.
Uh-oh.
So you're talking like a team versus team, right? So Brandon Morris had this idea that we never actually ended up doing. Hear me out, right? You bring 10 guys. We'll say the weight cap for your team is 2,000 pounds, so an average of 200 per puller. But you can pick your team, but you don't know who you're going to pull. You bring your 10 guys versus my 10 guys. We flip a coin for who picks first. You could do it through a team captain or collectively through a team. And each team gets to alternate picking the matches until all matches are done.
That's a good idea.
I think it'd be pretty interesting. It puts a lot of strategy into it. You could take, your weakest guy and burn your strongest guy on a match,
Yeah, it would be strategy really on who you have to, what puller goes up against too. I don't think it'd be too much of a more of a competition type thing because it's more of a chess game. You know what I mean? Because if one guy goes up there and, it's their best guy, I wouldn't, like you said, I wouldn't even put my best guy up against him. I put up my weakest guy up against him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just,
take him out.
Cleared out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of a chess game to there.
Yeah.
Have you
Or
tried?
what if instead of one person picking both opponents, what if each team member got to, we alternate? Let's say I'm going to put my guy in, you then get to put your guy in against my guy. But I like the uncertainty of you don't know who you're going to go against.
That would work. I'm saying either way is just a different way to do something. You know what I mean? Which is
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Have you tried it? Are you planning on trying that down in Florida, Mikey, to see how it would go?
Brandon had an idea back probably 6 months ago. We were going to do a team event like that, teams of 5.
Yeah.
And it was going to be something similar to that. And I swear James Reed had said he had done something similar. I don't remember exactly how it went, but
He's another one of my best friends.
yeah.
No, actually, we're good now. We're good.
No, he's a good guy. You
Yeah.
guys should be good.
No, we talked at the end of that tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really want to do. I would really want to do something that's going to be from weight class, just to see who's the best at that weight class.
Sure.
154, 165, and hit all the weights. Even though the 200-pound class, like you were saying before, that's interesting. You know what I mean? To get all the
Well, it's not 200 pounds. It's your entire team of 10 and weigh 2,000 pounds. So if you get a guy that's 250, you got to counteract that, with somebody who's 150.
Right.
I'm going to do something similar to what you're doing, Steve, except the worst arm wrestlers in the area. Fly out the 10 worst arm wrestlers in each weight class.
Just go straight to fucking Aries and be like, "What are you rating?"
Dave Shell has the lowest score on Aries. Corey Miller looked it out and he's like, Dave, you're at like 1080 or something. He's like, that's the lowest score on the whole thing.
Oh my god!
Like, man, how do I beat that? That would be hilarious though, to have like the 10 worst against the 10 worst. Just for fun, dude. Like, just do a fun one. Maybe we should do that, dude. Have the 10 worst in New York against the 10 worst in PA. Just
That's
for
not a bad idea though.
like a fun fucking weird one.
Yeah,
that'd be hilarious. I'd be on that list for sure.
So do you win by winning or do you win by losing?
Yeah.
And I was wondering when I'd be pulled into this mess. Dave Shell, phenomenal brackets guy. If anybody needs someone to do brackets.
Yeah, great bracket guy. I use him to all my tournaments. He's great. Really.
Also, before I forget, Paul Italia's Wednesday night podcast tonight at 9:30. So make sure you guys tune into that.
Yeah, I'll be on there on Paul Italia's tonight. So definitely.
Dude, you got like 3 podcasts in one day, bro.
I know, right?
Popular. One thing I wanted to mention, what you mentioned, I think when I was rewatching the Jody Williams one, you mentioned having both competitors from both sides in the same house, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's what I was looking to do for this next one in Florida. That's another thing too.
Yeah,
obviously to the Florida team, and
Yeah.
we'd be looking at the mansions and everything else like that. And same thing, like I was telling you before, Mikey. But sponsors would all help us out with this, to make sure we put everything out there, and vice versa. When we do the same thing, I think it's better to put both teams in the same spot, just for the fact that you guys watched UFC before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we do that,
Yes.
right. And they did the same thing, put them in the same house and everything else like that. And there's always some, discrepancy on who was a little bit with who and who doesn't like who, or who does really like who, or, and I want to see that. I want to see that both in the same house and all of them wake up together. Both of them train in separate rooms. They'll have, an hour or two, whatever, to train in separate rooms or whatever they need to do. There'll be cameras there as well, and then they'll have another training session if they want up against each other with their other arm. So if they're pulling only right, they can train with their left, or whether they want against another team opponent, whatever it is, but kind of get a concept of everybody being together and kind of seeing, what happens, and I think it'd be a lot better,
How long are we in this mansion for?
4 days. So it'd be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, leaving Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the super matches done in the mansion? We do it there, or
No,
have a
the
venue?
venue in Orlando, like East versus West 14 happened, like that type of venue. So
Okay.
get a walkout, same thing, a walkout song, get their measurements of their biceps, forearms, wrist, hand, all the way down to their elbow, the whole thing, the whole thing. Pictures and everything else like that. And definitely, obviously getting up to the table, maybe having, maybe some money, between them, or having an award or something that they're going to be, fighting for at the end. You know what I mean? So something that's going to make it competitive.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you worried? Like remember way back, like MTV, like Real World, all that stuff. Like, are you worried of any of the male competitors having any sexual relations with each other?
That's up to them, especially in this day. Who the fuck knows what would happen?
You never know. Watch
never
some.
know. Yeah.
Steve said there's going to be two females there too, right?
Yeah, there should be 2 females in there. There's probably going to be more, just for the fact that I have Roger and his girls come along because they're part of the filming crew and the camera crew. So they'll be, taking pictures and everything else, and filming and everything else too as well. But as Robert Kelly, when he comes along, he's going to be the main person that does all of our, cameras with the on the table, above the table, walking out and filming, so that'll be on a different perspective, I'd say.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, definitely.
That's a question for Dave Phil, who's not on the show.
Yeah, and I already seen a lot of the mansions in Orlando. They're huge, man, and they're a 24 plus person mansion, so there's more than enough room to fit everybody that we need in there.
Yeah. What time frame are you looking at? What time of year?
May, June.
Okay.
Yeah, have enough time to do all this, get everything out there, so on and so forth.
Just don't do it in March.
No. Dude, I'm holding back my fucking Battle of Tri-State just so it doesn't, go with yours in March.
Winter Blast.
Trying to do it early February.
I think this year is going to be big for Winter Blast.
Yeah. I'll be at Winter Blast, obviously. I mean, so I don't want any of the guys not going to Winter Blast because I'm going. Too. So
yeah, I'll be there too.
Yeah.
For some reason, a lot of people are coming from like Argentina and like South America this year.
Yeah. Martinez is coming. Sergio and what the fuck is his name? Something Fernandez. I forgot his name.
So this is an international event now.
Yeah, Miguel Fernandez. He told me like a lot of people are coming because he's from Argentina.
Yeah.
He said a lot of people are coming up to like check it to try it out. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it should be good. He's a hell of a puller too, and he's pulling 198 now. Oh my
dude, Miguel, he's a beast. That's another guy that would be good to have in a super match. Like,
well, I asked him already, and all these guys, like I asked them, like then before they lined up, and I'm like, hey, and they're like, I can't go, and I'm like, all right. So we had really good guys lined up. Not that we didn't, but the stacked team that I had, was slow. We couldn't get them. So imagine having this in New York. It'd be on a different level because all these guys would be able to travel and get here and be here.
Like Kevin Kaler,
dude,
guys like that nobody.
I asked Kevin, and he almost came, and he goes, "Dude, if it was at a different time, I'm actually taking a vacation on the same week, Steve, or else I would definitely go." He was the guy for that week.
He's a fucking monster, and he's not known all over the country, but here
he's a monster,
fucking killer, dude.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
That's another good one. He'd be a good one to bring down to Florida.
Yeah, he would be.
A lot of guys wouldn't know him and be like, "Oh, I'm going to smoke this guy."
Yeah. But he doesn't even look like he's that you can take him. He's gigantic, dude. He looks like what I mean. He's a huge
tall and strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. He goes to the practice I go to, so I see him there all the time, and I'm just like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah, he's strong as fuck, dude.
Everybody. Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad we got to get some of that out, and I'll definitely be tuning into you on Paul Italia's if I can. And yeah.
Awesome. Hey, I got USA Fit Games July 5th. Most expos usually require a 2-day event too. So we probably have a tournament on Saturday. Sunday would be open to super matches. I don't know. I mean, if an expo is a good venue, or if you want something a little more upscale than that.
Usually do a hotel venue, but as long as the place looks nice, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as
I mean,
it's
you'll
not,
have a
I'm
decent
not
crowd.
into the bar scene. That's the only thing I don't like. I don't like going to
Yeah.
bars, you know, and that's the only thing, you know, I just don't want to. I want to have like a nice place where people can, you know, they can walk out and they can see the surroundings where it's fucking gorgeous. You know, that's really what I want to make sure that it's, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
the
that makes
venue's
sense.
nice, dude. I'm open for that. I have no problem with that. That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Dude, you should do one with Greg Brown in Arizona too. Arizona was beautiful, dude. When I went there to pull Italia,
Oh yeah.
like just the scenery and everything around, like was crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, if you're looking for nice areas that have like a nice view, that was
Yep.
super
Yeah,
nice.
Montana was really nice, dude. Montana was beautiful. The
Oh, I
mountains in the back and everything, that was gorgeous. And the skies in the morning was fucking beautiful, dude.
Oh yeah, Montana's known for fucking their skyline and shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Was
definitely.
it hard to breathe there?
Nah, because the height and stuff. Nah, it was nice, dude. It was just nice. There was mountains all over the fucking place, so that's really what's beautiful about the whole thing. Just mountains everywhere, man. It's gorgeous.
Oh, that's a question. Yeah, Dave and Barbarian are just having their own conversation in the chat with each
Jesus.
other. But all right, man. Well, thanks for coming on, and we'll as this stuff progresses, we'll have you on to like update us on what's going on with Florida, things like that.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on, both of you guys. I appreciate it.
Anytime, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man. Thanks, Mikey. Thanks, Ryan. And fucking yeah, man. We'll do this again. We'll update, see what's going on.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
All right, man. I'll talk to you
Later,
Take
bud.
it easy.
later, guys.
Well, that went well.
Yeah.
It sounds like most of the stuff with the M spot thing was like miscommunication or
Yeah.
just not getting stuff in writing.
That's why I'm curious to know is, I'd like to hear their side is did they renege? Did they say they were going to do stuff and then didn't do it? Or do they not remember saying it?
How do you feel about having them on and kind of getting both sides?
I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea.
If that happened, we could ask why or
Right.
did you have this agreement and what
Yeah.
went down kind of thing? Put them on the M spot.
Put them on. I like it.
Cool, man. Well, I'm going to end the stream, and
Good.
I don't want to get too close to Paul Italia's or he'll fucking send us some hate mail.
Yeah. We got about an hour between it.
Thanks everybody for coming on.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Later, folks.